You're listening to Idiots Go Running, and this is Dean Karnassus, and I am a big friend of the show. Promise.
Welcome to Greece, a land where heroes once roamed. Philosophers once pondered the meaning of life and the mysteries of the universe. Legend has it that Zeus himself looked into the future and saw Andrew and Colin, two mere mortals attempting to run where warriors once marched. This is part 2 of Idiots Go Running in Greece.
Tom, where are we? We are in the, how do you say it? It's basically the big marble stadium in the middle of Athens.
It's the stadium which was the first modern Olympic Games it was used in, is that correct in saying that?
I believe so. You're the one who's watched 50 million YouTube videos, Andrew.
I didn't watch as many about this stadium though as you might think. I watched other stuff about Athens, but not about this stadium.
So the reason we were coming to Athens, basically our week, we're coming to Athens, we're going to run, we're finishing at this big stadium, a big finish, let's go guys, and you don't even know the history of the stadium.
No, not quite. That's an awful start to the podcast. That's a very special podcast.
Well, all we can tell you, it's special as well because everything's marble, and this marble is actually brought from the Panathenaic Mountains, the mountain range which is called the Panathenaic Mountains, so it's all marble, which is absolutely incredible. All the marble is brought from the Panathenaic Mountain, Andrew, and
if you're not watching this podcast, that's okay if you're listening to it, but have a quick look at it on YouTube or Spotify, because not to look at us, but just to look at the location. So this is the third location we've done a podcast in here in Athens.
Can I just say, please come to Greece. If you ever get a chance to go to Greece, go to Greece. There's so much to see, there's so much to do, the weather is amazing, people are nice, and I've only got good things to say about Greece. Come to Greece.
An absolutely fantastic trip. This is day 3 of our trip, and this is the day, Wednesday, the 5th of March 2025. This is the day where we decided we were going to run the original marathon route from Marathon to here in this stadium. And if you are watching, you'll see we have a little something special around our necks. With 2 medals, Colin. With 2 medals.
So
spoiler alert.
Yeah, so you only get these medals by running the marathon route. They are not available in the souvenir place before you come into the stadium.
So, you know, like, you might think you come here and anyone can pay €15 for this medal.
Anyone. Give or take.
We
worked for them. Our medals are different, Andrew. These aren't paid with €15.
It's what they represent.
These are paid with 26.2 miles.
We got friendly with the guy that brought us here from the airport.
Constantino.
We got chatting to him. We said on Wednesday morning, how much would it be to pick us up? €60. What's that in pounds?
£60. Let's just say.
It's not £60. We wanted to get going, and what did I hear, Colin? What awoke me at 5 a.m. a full hour before I was meant to be awoken?
So my wife's aware of this. So I'm part of the 5 a.m. club. So the part of the 5 a.m. club I am is I set my alarm every day for 5 a.m. and it goes off, and then I turn it off and my alarm goes off at 6 a.m. So I am part of the 5 a.m. club, but I don't get up, but I do awaken for moments.
And I looked up and I said, Colin, it's 5 a.m. What do you say?
Was I sleeping? I turned the alarm off for you.
Colin, 5 a.m. I was up since 5. I was meant to be up from 6, a full hour before I was meant to be up. So that's 2 days in a row. 2 days in a row.
But Andrew,
you're not part of the 5 a.m.
Your
club.
new nickname.
What's more, I'm not part of the 5 a.m. club, and I don't want to be invited or involved in the 5 a.m. club.
Andrew, really?
I didn't even want to be in the 6 a.m. club, to be honest. Today.
Look, I was taking notes out of Osmosis Andy's book, so I thought when my alarm goes off at 5 a.m, it goes off, I turn it off by osmosis, I get up at 5 a.m, and then apparently your life's better, you get more done at 5 a.m.
You don't get up.
It's osmosis.
You don't get up.
It's osmosis.
But you see, tomorrow, you're not setting the alarm at 5.
Oh, he's confiscating my phone now.
Did you sleep between 5 and 6?
Aye.
Fantastic. I did not.
Go back to sleep.
I tried, Colin.
No one's forcing you to stay up. I turned my alarm off. Beep, 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 beep. Turned off. Go back to sleep.
Full hour. So at 6 o'clock, we both got up. I was set, I had a pastry. Croissant with custard was okay, but I had apple cake, Colin.
Nice. You never spoke to me about the apple cake.
I had no coffee or nothing, but the apple cake was nice, and off we went to Marathon. About an hour's drive.
Just so you're aware, I did eat too. It's not the Andrew show, you know that? You were getting a shower and I was having a nice wee relaxing breakfast and you were running about freaking out.
Oh, I need a shower. I wasn't freaking out, I need a shower, Colin. We got to Marathon.
Dogs came.
We were nearly on our way, but Now, the dog thing...
So explain the dog thing.
Joe said you have to be careful because there is wild dogs in Greece.
And that's probably why you didn't sleep last night. You were flipping terrified of wild
I had
dogs.
6 hours sleep. I slept like a baby. I was due to have 7 hours sleep, but
Okay,
over that.
let's get this right. I don't like Greek guards. They scare me. Andrew doesn't like wild dogs. So it's the same thing.
Yesterday there was these 2 Greek guards and they were marching with their high feet and their
pom-pom shoes.
Their Greek pom-pom shoes. You stepped back and you said, I'm scared of them. And I thought you were winding me up, but you weren't. You were scared. And I said, can you take a photo of me?
I kept my distance.
But you did take a photo of me. And then when I looked at a photo, here's me, you stood well back and you were like...
They're flipping, Andrew. They're trained. They're trained assassins. You can use guns. They're scary. They have a high feet thing. They don't look at you. They don't smile. They don't say anything. Andrew, I was going to talk to... If I can't talk to someone about running, they worry me.
Am I scared of dogs?
Yes.
I'm
Joe had you terrified, Andrew.
No,
the whole run.
Terrified strong.
The whole run. If you seen a dog, the pace went to like a 6-minute mile.
Do you know what, Colin? I didn't really see dogs. Every opportunity there was a dog. You said, "Look, Andrew, there's a dog. There's a dog." But
trying to calm you down.
Wild dogs. By pointing dogs out, Colin. I did not see the dogs.
You didn't hear the end of it. I said that there's a dog. It has a collar, which means it's not wild.
Joe's advice was to stop and not do anything. 2 ways to get by the dogs. You could walk by the dogs or you could take the scenic route. And I said, Colin, we're taking the scenic route round the dogs.
Started walking fast because you were terrified of the dogs.
Well, I thought it was obvious.
So we'll walk through the stadium, Andrew. Let's get past the dogs. We'll walk through the stadium.
We got into the stadium, both took off, and that was the journey, Colin.
That was the start of your first ever marathon.
The start of my first ever marathon, and I was feeling good, feeling really, really well.
Did a lap of the stadium. So we went from stadium to stadium. That was kind of our run from Marathon Stadium to Athens original marathon
because
stadium.
There is an original marathon event, and it's held every November here in Greece. Here we are off, and the first third of this marathon route was incredible, Colin.
All of it was incredible, but yes, the first third.
The first third especially. Tell us about the first third.
We went through this. So the original marathon route goes the road the whole way. I decided to take Andrew to the tomb, which you'll see in the videos. So this tomb was a fallen Athenian soldier from the Bay Marathon. We took a detour around the tomb.
Slight detour.
Then we headed straight for the coast. Then we went the coastal route the whole way.
Coastal route was beautiful, Colin.
Sun splitting the trees, so we got to actually see the Greek countryside, fields. There was
lots
plums,
of countryside.
There was lemon trees.
It
there
was beautiful.
Olive trees. we ran past olives all over the ground, and it wasn't busy. There was no traffic.
There was no people about. There was hardly anyone about. It's the Bay Marathon, isn't it? We just ran.
Yeah, I think it's called Marathon Beach. I think. So I think it's called Marathon Beach. The view was just blue seas, blue sky. That was class. Then we came through what Andrew thought was kind of like an army camp / scouts
place. There was
camp.
Lots of barracks and lots of wee huts and what. There wasn't many cars.
We had the whole road to ourselves. And how
were you feeling at this time? You've put in a lot of training. You've put in a lot of training, Colin.
So I'm obviously working towards the NI 100 ran by We Run Wild NI, and I've been doing a lot of training for 108 mile runs. So this last weekend I was off the back of a 20-mile run, and I'll have a 20-mile run this weekend coming up. And this was a marathon, jumped into the middle of the week. I've actually said to you a few times, I can't believe how much, you're going to hate this, how much training helps when you run.
That kind of sounds like a bit of a dig towards me, Colin, so it doesn't
So when you train, like my muscles, my legs, I'm still full of energy. I'm loving life. I'm grand. Hills aren't hills to me.
I'm going to have a bit of a dig with you because I too am feeling grand. I am loving life too, and I did not quite as much training as you, Colin.
How much training do you do?
Well, we actually worked this out. How many runs do you think I have done this year? So the past 6 months I have ran, you thought 10? I really didn't have a clue. Looked it up 8 times.
8 times.
And with the most covered 5.5 miles.
How much mileage did you do in your runs, Andrew? This is nothing to be proud of, so you're aware.
Colin, I'm not proud of it.
You are proud of it. You're even going, oh, look at me. I can run as far as you, and I don't train.
I'm just keeping it real for the people at home. I'm being upfront and honest. You see, if I can do stupid things, other people can do stupid things too.
So you're saying it's stupid not to train for a marathon?
Yes, it is. 32 miles, Colin. In the past 6 months, I've done a combined total of 32 miles. Now, at this point, I have to feel like I have to give a bit of a shout out to Nick Weston, who gave me a great tip about, remember the Three Bears?
At this stage, Andrew had done no mileage.
Like 2 runs or something.
And you build it up slowly, so don't go too hard.
Yep.
Brilliant
tip.
You don't want to get yourself injured.
Brilliant tip.
It's very late in the game. Don't be silly. Don't be trying to fit in 20-mile weekends.
Just up it a wee bit more.
Up a wee bit, week on week, build it up. What did you do?
I took his advice
Yeah.
for a week and a half.
For a week
I
and
did
a half.
up it a little, and then I kind of fell back into just 1 run a week.
So you did half your runs. The week after, Nick Weston give you tips. Andrew was tripping up a wee bit and kicking rocks and all this stuff, and find it hard.
No,
find
the
it hard
last
to
10
run.
mile was like.
Oh, come
no,
on, sweetheart.
The first whatever it was, 16 mile was solid calm, and after that I did start tripping up a fair bit.
You did.
I did, like,
so I said to Andrew, what's
about
going
that.
on? Like, just like you need to train. I don't think you need to work on your miles. You need to work on
did say
running in general.
But then
Andrew
I said, in my defence, of those 8 runs, Colin, 4 of them was on a treadmill. You don't trip up on anything on a treadmill.
No, you don't.
The other 4 was out in the wild. Okay, and in fairness, I wasn't running in many footpaths.
Yeah, so Andrew went to the Serengeti or the Sahara or the Amazon, and he was out in the wild, was he? No, he was running around industrial estate on a
Wasn't it? It was
footpath.
in the countryside, Colin.
Oh,
It was out in the countryside.
Are we back this countryside quote?
Yes. No. What countryside quote?
I don't know. You always say you're in the countryside, and you,
well, when
it's
I'm
the most built-up area known to man.
No, I go out and I've got a route.
If you
which I've
turn
done
left, there's
4
trees.
times.
If you turn right, there's roads.
Thank you. And if you go straight, you're in the
Right,
countryside.
we'll agree to disagree.
Right.
You're half and half.
Right. So a Nick Weston story. So I don't know how it came up, but before the rock, paper, scissors, I think you actually said, Colin said, Joe, you know what you should do? Get Andrew to high five you
And you
during
win.
that race. And she said, why? And Colin said, every time Andrew has high fived a person during the race, they have went on to win that race. And Dean and Joe, their faces were like,
They were like, are you serious?
Are you serious? Like, this is massive.
Are you serious? Every time you've high fived someone, they've won a race.
I said every time.
Every time.
And they couldn't believe it. And then I said, well, it was only 2 races and it was the same person.
It was and he was pipped to be the winner in
Still
both.
100% record. Fast forward, the rock, paper, scissors challenge.
Granted, the first time you high fived him, he was like 30 miles ahead of everyone.
Doesn't matter. Nick will tell you himself.
It's like high fiving someone at the finish line.
Here.
I high fived the winner.
Here, you're only as good
Continue,
as
love.
your high five. So, after Dean got beat with rock, paper, scissors, the cameras weren't rolling at this stage, and he looked at me and he goes, I should have high-fived you. So Nick, we know you listen, we love you. You have got something that Dean Carnazes has never got. Not 1, but 2 high fives from me. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Dean doesn't have that, you do, Nick.
Nick, hold yourself in high regard.
Where were we? We ran up and then we hit the road.
There's Andrew's lift home.
Don't know if you can hear it, but it's an ambulance here, Colin. I'm feeling great. I am feeling
So
great.
Getting to that great. So we finished that, and then we join the original marathon route. So it is a idiot school running variation on the authentic marathon route.
Because once you hit the main road here from Marathon to Athens, it's a road. It's
a road. It's
busy
It
main
is.
road.
There is a trail there beside the road. It's not a nice clean footpath that
I don't know if you call it a trail, Colin.
There were sections of clean path, but there were some trails. There were some less safe places, but we got to an area and you started to feel stuff building up. And there was a pastry shop, and we went in.
No coffee, no toilet.
And do you know what? The pastry looked good.
Oh my goodness, I can still smell it.
And Andrew was like, I've seen something, Colin. I've seen something.
There's something up ahead.
There's
I
a
don't know
coffee
where.
chain.
I've seen the coffee chain.
I know what it looks like. I don't know what the name of it. And he had this in his head, so he had spotted this on the way.
I didn't just want we both need to go to the toilet, we both want a coffee, we want a pastry too.
And we want to sit down and enjoy the experience. This is a
Because it's a marathon after all.
It's a marathon
So of course
after all.
You need a coffee and a pastry.
So
you know what I mean?
we keep on running, we're hitting these wee trails, and then my phone starts
No,
going.
before that, I think we visited 3 coffee shops.
Well, yeah.
Or 3 pastry/coffee shops.
And do you know
None
what?
of them would suffice the call.
Then my phone buzzed, and I was like, oh, but I seen the number, and it was a Greek number, and I thought,
We only know 2 people in Greek.
it's we only know 2 people in Greek.
We only know 2 people in Greece.
And I thought, no way, you're having a laugh. And we went off the side of the road.
Who was there?
Joe and Dean.
Dean Carnazes, big friend of the show, not
Big
just
friend of the show.
Dean Carnazes, big friend of the show. And what did I say to them? I said, why are you phoning us? We're in a bit of a marathon. You're keeping us back.
So they were ringing to check that we were okay.
Isn't that Like that's crazy.
This is ultramarathon man. He was ringing to check that we were okay. Joe was ringing to check that we were okay. We speak a lot about Dean on the show. Joe, unbelievable person, unbelievable runner.
They didn't need to check up on us.
But we were just having a
They
laugh.
were worried about us. At this stage, we had just hit 12.2 miles, I think.
Dean kind of finished. He goes, just be careful. Them roads are really busy. He goes, whenever you get to the stadium, give me a buzz to let you know you're there and you're there safe.
It just shows you. Like, that's so, like,
They're
so,
busy.
so kind.
They took time out
So kind.
to ring two idiots who got souvenir medals and ran a marathon distance to get
And as
the
I said
souvenir
to you,
medals.
see, for the next half hour, we were high as kite.
You were high as a kite.
I was high as kite, so it
And
was.
then we're
Oh,
running.
Colin.
And then
Colin.
we spotted the coffee chain, Andrew.
Yep.
Tell us about Coffee Island.
Coffee Island.
Coffee Island.
Coffee Island is a beautiful sight to behold. They had coffee, the pastries, and
The
the
toilets.
I ordered a flat white, took a bottle of water, and the biggest apple custard pastry I have ever seen in my life. It was like, it's two hand sizes. Normally, eating pastries in the middle of a marathon, it isn't an ideal thing.
No.
You know what? I don't do ideal. They're yummy.
They're yummy.
You know, you get a good time and cheap thrills with them, and you know you're gonna pay for it, Colin.
You get a good time and cheap thrills.
You do, Colin.
I don't even know what that's a saying.
It is a saying. Well, it's a saying because I said it, so it has to be a saying. So, but it's true, Colin. In that moment, all I wanted was a pastry. I knew future Andrew was going to suffer, and future Andrew did suffer. We'll get to that. I knew future Andrew was going to suffer because of this pastry, but I didn't care. Present Andrew wanted some pastries.
So,
and Colin, like, it was a big pastry.
That was a big.
And the
yes,
woman,
we all know it was a big pastry.
The woman said to me, cinnamon and sugar, and I just thought she was describing what it is. Here's me, oh yes, that sounds fantastic. I just started sprinkling it with cinnamon and sugar. It was water, latte, and the biggest pastry I ever did see.
It's blue skies. We're from Northern Ireland.
We don't know what the colour is, Colin.
We don't know what
the colour of the sky is.
Like
we can see clouds.
This is real. This is like, there's this thing called the sun, and see when there's no clouds and the sun's out, it looks like this. It's class. Andrew goes, do you want to sit inside? I looked at him and I thought, are you having a laugh? Let's go and sit outside.
There was shade though. We've been outside for the past hour or two or something like that. You know
but
what
you
I mean?
gotta milk it, Andrew. Greece is our cow that we have to milk.
And then we hit the road again, Colin.
We hit the road. And
You hit something too. What do you have?
Andrew, all he cares about is himself. Nice beds, all this stuff. I had a croissant, just a plain one,
Right.
and a nice Americano.
We're still on a busy road.
That was after the half. That was 14 miles.
Sun's beaten down. In hindsight, we made one slight, I wouldn't call it mistake, but it would have helped. We didn't go to the other side of the road where
There was more shade.
because of the buildings, because there were buildings either side, there was more shade, and it was very inclining at this point, wasn't it? It was like the road was very inclining.
I was fine in the sun. I was fine with the incline.
I was fine. This is mile 14 onwards. I'm fine. I'm feeling good. We hit mile 20, Colin.
You start to feel mile 20. Andrew hit the wall. Well,
No,
Andrew hit the pastry.
No, I wouldn't say I hit the wall.
Like, we have to get something new. So people,
I hit the pastry.
normal people hit the wall.
I didn't hit
Andrew,
the wall, and I didn't. I said, Colin,
pastry hangover? Marathon pastry hangover? Is that what it is?
I feel good. My legs are getting a wee bit tired, but like I could, that pastry is repeating on me, and I really felt it in my stomach. It was fruitcake all over again.
Do you know what?
It was fruitcake all over
See,
again.
when you got the pastry in the box, I thought, Flippy's ordered a baguette. That's how big the box was. It was a baguette box.
It was
Colin, I don't regret it.
I don't regret it, Colin. Present Andrew at the time loved it.
Yeah.
Future Andrew was in for trouble.
And he would do it again. It's
Now past Andrew.
We've now worked out Superman has his kryptonite,
Aye.
ultramarathon Andrew has his pastries.
Or fruitcake.
I felt fine. Let's just jump onto me. Andrew started to get a pastry hangover, marathon pastry hangover.
I really felt the pastry in my stomach. I thought I
You
might
felt the
re-see the pastry again.
Then it's fruitcake. I don't know what you call it. You hit the aid station wall. I don't know.
So, well, I
someone
just said calm.
comment and tell us, what does Andrew hit? He's ate loads of nice food at the aid station. He goes out and he feels feels ropey.
Don't feel sorry for him because I don't regret it. I had to do it all again.
Nobody, Andrew, you're making a mistake. That someone actually feels sorry for you.
No, I'm
feels. Don't feel sorry for me, Andrew. You're one in a big bed. Feel sorry for me. I'm the one that Dean Carnazzi is stuck in a sofa bed.
Calm.
I don't regret a thing.
I had to walk it off.
Sure you did. You'll sleep it off for the night.
No. I had to walk it off.
And he did. Walk it off. He did.
How long did we walk for?
I don't know. I was just going.
10 minutes maybe.
We crossed over, we walked in the shade, we continued walking in the shade, and it just needed to cool down.
Then calm.
And then when everything's going, Andrew's going, this is tough. You weren't going, this is tough. You're going, I feel ropey. Listen to our previous podcast where Andrew goes, see when I'm doing a marathon, and if anything happens, or I want to stop, I'm going to find a history rock.
And Colin, you couldn't write it.
So,
we seen a history rock. Thing of beauty, Colin. Thing of beauty. We looked at those history rocks for a few minutes.
A main road. This was a built-up area, a main road, and then I was like, Andrew's
the only time
own.
we've seen history rocks on the main road.
Yeah, the only time. That was the only one we seen. The only one we seen.
And you know what? After 10 minutes of walking, after a few minutes looking at history rocks,
Andrew left the history rock, and he was back. And I said, Andrew. But then I said, Andrew, you ready to run? What'd you say?
I said, yes, let's do it.
Yeah, but then afterwards I said, are you ready?
This is a good while after.
A wee bit after.
So a good while after, we decided to walk a wee bit again. Why did we start walking?
Well, let's explain the story. Everyone will understand why we started walking whenever we explain the story. Got running again, then for whatever reason, we moved down into a walk. I don't know why. And then I said to Andrew, right? I said, you ready to break into a bit of a run? And Andrew's like, no, I feel fine, like I could run, but I just don't wanna. You feel fine, you can run, but you just don't want to.
I was like, I feel perfectly fine.
I don't want to.
I could run, but I'm just deciding not to.
God, that doesn't make sense.
I know, but I was enjoying the walk.
And I know you were enjoying the walk, but we're there to run a marathon.
And
we're not going for
at what stage are we?
A teddy bear's picnic.
23, 24 or something.
Yeah, 23, 24, and you're like, nah, I'm good walking, thanks.
Yeah, it was good. It was feeling good. It was just a nice walk.
I know.
I enjoyed walking, and just the thought of running again, it just didn't appeal to me at the time.
Then I looked at my watch. This is a great one. I looked at my watch and I looked at my heart rate, and my heart rate, which I've never seen before, was sitting in, right, granted, we were on mile 24.
Yep.
My heart rate was in an area called, so we've got zone 1 training, zone 2, zone 3, whatever it is. It wasn't even in warm-up. It was no zone. I'm 24 miles into marathon and my heart rate is, what was it, 80?
86.
Around 80, 86.
But you've been doing a lot of training.
86, I'm kind of going, I've never seen that before. No zone.
When I was running, it was 112, and then I started talking about running, and I went up to 125. How's that work out?
Osmosis, Andrew.
I don't
Osmosis.
know. But you know what? After a minute, I said, Colin, let's just go for a run. Or let's finish this thing.
No, I think I said, Andrew, I think I had to encourage you to run.
And I ran the whole way.
See if you were left to your own devices.
I wouldn't run. I'd be grand. I just wouldn't do as much running as you might think. But Colin, we made it. The miles ticked down. The time ticked down. For the past 24 hours, I've just been visualising myself, because we went to the wee, what do you call that, souvenir shop yesterday, and we picked out what medal. We didn't know there was medals there, and you showed me that, and I said to the guy, could I pick it up and feel it and see if it was good quality and good weight?
Granted, it's a souvenir shop.
It's a souvenir
and Andrew's
shop.
Like, can I touch it? It's not the one that actually they brought. It's not the actual original one.
You have the manners and respect.
Can I touch? It was sitting for people to touch. He's like, yeah.
We didn't know that. It was sitting
of course
there.
You can.
Well, you know what? Did it do harm to ask? Good manners. I touched it. It was good quality, and I said we'll be back. And you came up. We're running the marathon. The original marathon. We're running from marathon tomorrow all the way here. And then the guy did recognise us today. We got our medals.
He recognised us. He said, "Are you the guys that have the podcast called Idiots Go Running?"
He didn't say
and I was like, "Yeah, we've just ran the marathon. Yeah, we've ran here from marathon. Could not care less."
We put our medals on.
Couldn't care less.
Our wives.
I said, "Do you want to run around the stadium?" No, I don't wanna.
No, well, what, Colin? I've just done a marathon. Why would I want to run? And I did say, in fairness, no.
He doesn't run in a marathon.
No, not at the minute. But I said I might do later on.
So that's our marathon.
And so that's my first ever marathon, and it might be my last, and I mean that. But what a marathon to do, the original one. It's hard to sum up this podcast journey. The
experience of doing this is incredible. So don't sit in your sofa and wait for things to happen. Get out and do it. Thanks to everybody who's been on this journey. I know it sounds like
over. It sounds like we're going to retire. I actually joke with you. Come around the corners, I might retire, Colin. You look at me and go, actually, here's me. Well,
before we go on, I've got the marathon coming up. I've got the 100 mile coming up, and potentially the Famine Way should be open soon with Wee One Wild and I.
I may go out in the wild and run the countryside.
The wild. You need to work on your non-tripping skills.
I do.
Because it's really starting to trip you up.
I need to get some footpaths. But that's us, folks. That has been our, so far, Greece adventure. I listened to some podcasts called...
This one's the best.
you know, they end up going in wild places and wild adventures, and I never thought that would happen to us. We're not special or
Speak
unique
for yourself.
or anything. But Colin, I think I'll do this.
I'll do this. And just remember, everyone, running will change your life. It's awesome, it's out there, it's wild, it's amazing, and running changes your life.
On rest days.
Pastries ruin your life.
So until next time, from Athens, Greece, my name's Andrew.
And my name's Colin.
And we'll see you next time on
Idiots Go Running.
Running. We'll see you then.
Adiosas.
And that's a wrap on part 2. But before we say goodbye, we've got one more treat for you. Next up, a bonus episode dedicated to the real highlight of the trip, Greek pastries. Less running, more eating. You're welcome.